Now we're going to show how to utilize the black tie seating chart. Once you log into your member area, go down to where it says View Table Seating Chart, and a separate username and password is needed to log in. Now it can be the same as what you use to log into the black tie site with, but it doesn't have to be. Anyway, use the credentials that you've been given to log in, and if you're successful, you'll see this screen. It says Black Tie Seating Chart and Seating Chart Software. The advantage of the black tie site is that all of the names that have been placed into the black tie online reservation system, whether or not they purchased a ticket with a credit card, or you added them as a comp, or you added them as an offline ticketed transaction, they are all copied over into the seating chart, so you don't have to do double entry. So if you put your mouse over persons and then down over RSVP, we're asking the system to show us all of the names that are in the RSVP. Tables of 10 or 8, if you have tables of 10 or 8, will appear at the top. So in this case, we have a list of some sample names here for a table of 10. And if you wanted to seat these people, all you'd have to do is type in a table name and hit confirm. If there were more tables, you could type in 2 or 3 different table names and then hit bulk confirm. And I'll show you in just a minute what happens. Of course, not everybody that's in your system is going to be part of a table of 10. They will be individuals, maybe couples, and so on. So there will be some other folks that are by themselves. So when you get down to the bottom, these are folks that are individuals. If they wanted to sit with somebody, it would be here, and all the tables are here. So you could just choose a table and hit add, but it's more efficient to choose multiple tables and then hit bulk add. So that is how you go about seating people to tables. When we're done, we have a variety of reports. So if you click on Move People Around, this will give you a graphical presentation. Blue tables are full. Green tables are not full. You can click on any one particular table, and it will show you who is seated there. And again, because we are web-based, multiple people could be looking at this simultaneously. And if they said that these 2 people shouldn't sit together anymore, you could just click on the scissors underneath one name, and that would move them over to the holding bay, and then you could move someone else in and paste them there. Even though you may have told the system that your default is 8 seats per table or 10 seats per table, it's not uncommon to have 1 or 2 tables that are a little bit more than that. So if that's the case, you could just click on this table, Attributes, and then you can change either the number of people per table in even numbers, or once we get to the table number or the table name, you can change any of that. If someone calls you up and says, where is so-and-so sitting, we have something here that instead of looking through Post-it notes, you can just hit Find Person. And as long as they've been seated, if you put in their first name or last name or any identifying character, it will bring up and let you know that they've been seated at table number 38 and so on. We also have the ability for you to print. So if you wanted to, we can actually print these tables. Now this one already has table numbers assigned to it, but oftentimes our groups will print out the tables and then cut them up with scissors and arrange them on a desktop to determine which table is going to have which number. So to do that, you would hit the print button here and select all, and then it tells you to print, and that will reformat. Obviously, we can't print 7 tables on a line on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. but it does reformat to print 4 tables on the line. We have the ability for you to apply table numbers. So once you know which table is going to be where, each table does have to have a name when you're getting going. You can apply the table numbers. And then a new feature is here for you to move people around. So you can go left to right with the numbers, as I've done here. But if you want to go right to left in the second row, then I could move table 8 down here, and then 9, and so on. And so we'd be going 1 through 7 here, 8 through 12 here, where we can go left to right, right to left, or top to bottom. Then one of the last things that you'd normally do would be to create a master list. So you can create a master list by last name or by table name. Table name is usually by the purchaser and is to be used if you have a lot of guests of. In other words, for a bank, perhaps First Bank or Wells Fargo has bought a table of 10 and they don't know who's coming. So someone may just show up and say that I'm with Wells Fargo. If you sort this list by table name, you'll be able to tell them immediately where they should go. Alphabetical by last name, of course, is usually the most handy. Some of our organizations will print both. And so when this comes up, this gives you their name, table number, so on. You can actually apply bid numbers from the table seating area if you want to. And then you just hit print and hand this out to your check-in people. If you want to, you can also export the data in the Excel format as well. And then last, but not least, working backwards, to create the tables for your individuals to sit at, you go up to Start here and then Display Event, and then the third option down is Add a Table. So you can just add a table name here. The table name is primarily what's going to make sense for you to seat all the individual orders at. In other words, people that are not part of a table of 10. So you might want to call it IS for Individual Supporter 1 or whatever you want to. And as you create the name here, then when you get ready to go down here to the RSVP area, all of these names that are at the bottom of the list as we scroll on down, the new tables that you created will show here. One other feature, if you're looking at a particular table and it says guest of, and I don't know if I can find a table of that will say guest of, but imagine for a second, so here is one that says guest of Marine Smile. So if you actually change this name in the black tie view guest management area, it will automatically communicate that name change here and change it automatically. So you do not have to change it in 2 places. So that's it. If you have any questions on the seating chart, please let me know. Thank you very much.